Welcome, race fans from around the globe. Here they come, out of turn 4, to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. All right, welcome back, race fans. It is Thursday night, and we are at the Iowa Speedway tonight. Guys are now starting to qualify. They've been out for practice laps. Start to pull up some information for you while they start the qualification. Currently, the LottiesTravelWorld.com weather report for the 5-star Realty Group 125 is mostly cloudy, air temp 71, track 74, nice and cool in Iowa. 51 degrees, 51% relative humidity with the wind slightly out of the south at 5. That's your LottiesTravelWorld.com weather report. If for any kind of travel, check out Lottie's Travel World. It was like Mike Dula in the 17 North machine just put up the fastest lap. You'll see that in the upper right-hand corner be our fastest laps as they're given. We'll see them as they move around here. So today's race, the 5-star Realty Group 125 at Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa. As we see the sun is going down, we see that picturesque picture of the sunset over the Iowa Speedway main grandstand. And then pull up our best laps for you, as that's that sticker there. Check out Gary Eschen, that 23 ride. I looked at him earlier. That Jordan ARCA machine. A Jordan Hamlin car, basically. Currently being shown in that 4th spot. Here he is. Matt Noyce, new guy here, 87 North machine. Be adding him here, and maybe we see against they have him as the 187. We'll score him tonight as the 87N in the North. If you're new to the North-South Racing League, the drivers are split into the 2 teams, the North and the South. So you will see blue backgrounds and gray backgrounds on our number profilers. Some of the things like the grid, they're all blue back, but the N's are for the North and the S's are for the South guys. This is the last recruitment event for the NSRL guys before they go live next week. North Wilkesboro for Monday night at the Street Stocks, and also for the ARCA cars next Thursday night. So these guys will be participating in a North versus South type of event every night. The tracks are divided also into North and South, and wins in enemy territory provide a fundraising apparatus with sponsorship. So I will get more information on that as we get into those. And 11 Hanko says crazy. I want to say that's probably not right, but not sure how to say that there in Twitch, but he says crazy. So I'm not sure what he was commenting crazy about, if it was the intro or the fact that we got cars racing here at Iowa. 55 seconds left in the grid. The grid will be like total of numbers here. Driver report. Race summary here. Drivers taking a lap is 18 thus far. Looks like 22. So the J&G hardwood flooring race recap there, basically helping us out with that right now with Justin Grosser there. The 38 North machine is the fastest lap. They do inversions here, and they only race a set number of drivers. 26 would go into the feature. Looks like that's all we have. So we'll go right to the feature after qualification. Actually, doesn't look like there's inversions, and there is inversions in street stocks. That's squared away. That is the end of qualifying. So we will go into a 5-minute warm up followed by our feature. 5-minute warm up. Those guys up there. And Andy Dunwoody, the Magic Man in Twitch World, saying, "What's up? What's up? We're racing, having some fun out here, Iowa." Okay, the 44 car was not in the driver's meeting, so he'll be going back to the rear. That was Matt Allen, 44 North. So keep an eye on these guys, see how things go. Good to see you there, Andy, watching us there on Twitch. Thought you guys had a race tonight. Andy Dunwoody runs the NSRL guys on Wednesdays. His ECRS on Thursday nights, and he runs the league for the USRLA on Sunday nights with us. Oh, it's over already. Okay, well, you can hop in here if you want. Oh no, it's a crack fest. All right, I'm gonna send it to you on Discord. It's TeamSpeak 3, so. So I'll have Andy help us out tonight. These guys are doing a 5-minute warm-up, and then they'll pull up from there. A Magic Man help us out in the booth tonight. Let's see, we got 9 viewers through my streams, and oh, Kathy. Oh man, I don't even want to try. Kathy Joe, good luck to the guys. That's right. Good luck, guys. Iowa, last recruitment race. Kathy Joe, good to see you joining us on the NSRL webpage, on their Facebook page. All right, hey Andy, how you doing, man?
What's up, Harold?
Not much. Actually, matter of fact, I'm gonna have you join me in One to Go Studios on Discord so you can see this.
And 4.
Gonna help Andy see the production feed of what we're doing. He can help me out here. All right, Andy, you should be able to see the production feed now. All right, so 1 minute, 14 seconds left in the warm-up, and then we will get to Green Flag Racing. 125 laps here tonight for the 5-Star Realty Group. 125 at Iowa, here in Newton, Iowa. Andy, what do you like about Iowa? This is going to be a sunset start tonight.
This is one of my favorite tracks on the service. Multiple grooves. You're on the bottom, you wear your tires out in a hurry. You can actually run the top groove and save some tire and get to run off the corner down the front straightaway.
You know, I was telling the viewers a little bit about the North-South guys. These guys have N's and S's on their names. No, not sure if you can see it through the track very well, but if you are watching in iRacing, you can see it in their actual names and their nicknames. But that stands for the North and the South. So the drivers are divided into two teams, basically, based on geographical location. And once we go live racing starting next week, they will actually divide the tracks as well. And they have special events based on, you know, if you can win in enemy territory. They have fundraisers going on. It's actually a pretty cool idea. Have you ever heard anything like that before?
It's kind of like the K&N East and West series in real life, or the Pro Cup series.
Yeah, that would be similar to that. All right, so it looks like we're getting ready to grid the field. Here we are. So, tonight's start. Row 1, Justin Grosser in at 38. Randy Nichols on his outside in the 11. Jonathan Cross will be inside. Row 2. Outside of him, Matt Dula, sorry. Gary Eschen will be inside. Row 3. Outside of him, Ryan Johnson in the 3. Thomas Stewart in the 7th position, 64, and Chad Applegate in the 8th position in the 04 machine. We got the Matt Noyce in the 87, in the 61 of J. David Rich. Whew, that's going to be hard for me to remember. We'll figure that one out. Jason Dinsmore, who'll be inside of row 6. Outside him, DJ Weltmeyer. Justin White inside of row 7. Outside him is Christopher Jurgis, and I believe he's new in that 84 as well. Dan Janin in the 15th position in the 01. Jeff Mathis on his outside in row 8. Going into row number 9 is Marshall Johnson inside. Outside him, Travis Hoffler in the 20. Philip Martin, who's the league owner in the 46 machine, will be rolling inside of row 10 in 19th. Outside of him is Shane Loveridge in the 72. Joe Witowski, 21st in the 24 machine. And Matt Allen in that 44 will be starting at the back of the field based for he missed the driver's meeting. So that's why he's all the way back there. So that's your starting grid provided by the 5-Star Realty Group, or the 5-Star Realty Group 125 tonight. We are pacing as we're getting ready to go green here for 125 laps. The full fuel, limited tires to only 3 sets, 14X, and you go home for the 125 laps here.
It's going to be a game of patience.
Definitely a game of patience. Love these paint schemes. These guys have quite a few different colors. At 3 and a tie-dye. Have you seen that with Ryan Johnson?
That's the old, that's an Earnhardt throwback to one of his All-Star cars. The Peter Max car, I believe.
That's pretty cool looking. At 04, I got the USA on there, so proud to be made in the USA right there at 04 machine. So if you're watching with us, give us a shout out to your favorite driver. You're going to push to the front. Kathy Joe is saying, go DJ. Might be able to cheer for him. And Don Rooney is looking for Ryan Johnson to be pushed up. So we got push-ups for DJ and Ryan Johnson. Go ahead and give them a push-up to the front.
I'll let you handle the push-ups. I'm more of a sit-up guy.
Hey, Peach is over. In the Army too long is what it was, right? And we're the guy there off. Green flag as we're on lap number 1 of 125 with a 38 machine of Justin Grosser starting us off as he shot out like a cannon way out in front, 3-4 car lengths as we hit the backstretch.
You can see him side by side. A few rows back, you got the 23 making a move on that 10 car for the 5th position.
Definitely a nice quick start to this event as we're sitting there looking on top of Randy Nichols' number 11 machine. We see that 3 car moving up to that 4th position.
Yeah, he's making an attack here on the bottom, trying to go to 3rd. You got the 23 following him up the bottom. So the bottom's going to be faster until it gets rubbered in, and then the top will come alive. And like I said, the top's actually better for saving tires on these ARCA cars.
See that 23 tribute to the 23 X1 of the Jordan Hamlin group that's out there now. The Jordan, Air Jordan up there on the front hood of that car. It looks nice, black and purple.
Yeah, it's real clean looking.
A lot of people out here tonight watching in the different areas. We're pushing on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, and the NSRL Facebook Facebook sites. So we're in 4 different spots tonight as we're working lap 4 of 125. The race leader's at 38. Speedco design machine and Heart Crate 11 directly behind him. That's Randy Nichols.
That's one of them fast pasta looking cars, that 38 car.
Yeah.
Anthony Alfredo.
Yep. One of the Pasta what is their little fan
Pasta
group?
Mafia.
The Pasta Mafia. That's right. But Heart Crate was one of the sponsors for this league last season, so that's the tribute on that 11 machine, Heart Crate. So let's kind of run through the field while we're starting to spread out here as we're working lap number 6. So right here we have the Justin Grosser in that first spot, as we see the 11 looking to his inside. Second is Randy Nichols right behind him, as we're going to switch this to intervals so you can see how far they are apart. Matt Dula in the 17 machine there. And then is that Buffs Tire and Service Incorporated. Gary Eschen in the Jordan. There. Ryan Johnson, like I said, in that throwback 3. It looks pretty cool, like a tie-dye car. Jonathan Cross in the number 10. It's like a checkered flag, I think is what is on the front of that. You can see that checkered flag network.
Looks like an American flag on the back quarter.
Yeah, it says checkered flag network is what it says on there for the 10 North machine. 61 is David Rich.
We're just going to call him David Rich.
David Rich, all right. Trying to figure out why we don't have a number in there for him. Chad Applegate in the 4 machine is in 8th. Anyway, so some reason our numbers are not showing up on there. So for this day, 87 machine. 16th is in 10th. Jason Dinsmore in 11th in the 62. 88 machine of Justin White currently in 12th. Jeff Mathis in that Tabasco 8 machine. And Philip Martin, that's the league owner, who's scraping the wall, and that 46 of the 88 skull goes up into the wall there. It's Justin White, and you see the 20 Pennzoil right there in Travis Hoppler. Interesting front nose of that Pennzoil machine.
Looks hungry.
So White and that skull is now in the 15th spot. 16th is the 24. Do-it-yourself 24. Thomas Stewart in the Miller 64. He's got some damage on that right front, that right rear. Christopher Yergers also looks like he's got some as well. So the guys are probably catching the wall a little bit coming out of these corners.
Yeah, you can see they're running up high right against that wall, and these things have enough power to step their in there on a little bit.
13 of Dan Janin. 80 Gerger back there. The 72 of Shane Loveridge. 33 of Marshall Johnson. And Matt Allen is in that 44 being scored in the 22nd position. And you see heavy right front damage on that 44. As we've gone through the field, we're back to the front. 4 cars battling for the first position.
Yep, battle's heating up. You got them racing 2x2. The 3 cars looking inside the 11. You're going to see this bottom come alive right now while they're on good tires. You can see them all migrate up to that 38 and 11 around them.
So you're saying the middle to high groove is going to be where the speed is going to be later in the event?
Definitely. I mean, even right now, you can see the run that the 11 gets on the 3 when he's coming out of the corner. So the 3's ahead right now, and then right now you'll see the 11 start to gain on him.
So it's kind of like these drivers were at Irwindale Outer in the street stocks, and they were going from the outer retaining wall down to the apron and back up in a huge diamond arc. And you like Irwindale as well, so I'm not used to seeing that much track usage, but they were making it work. It was almost like it was in dirt with the slide jobs, and definitely needing the entire exit to have that run off. And if you were not able to get clear of the car on the outside, the pinch was killing you.
But you're going to see the same thing here. These guys are going to drive from the bottom and basically slide all the way to the outside wall.
Race control filling us in. 24 has been asked to come down pit lane due to his internet connection. So 24 being called down to the trailer. We do have a race controller here, so you have the 3 attacking the 38 as you were about to tell me that. So in turn number 1. But they have a single race controller. Currently tonight it's Michael Xavier. And but they do allow iRacing to throw all of the caution flags. But he would be the one relegating all the administrative work that goes with extending the greens or issuing EOLs and such. So you, as being a league admin, sure you could appreciate the help of having somebody dedicated to just doing that.
100%. I cannot stress that enough. If you got a big league that has more than like 10 cars, you definitely need a race controller, even if it's just to hand out by fun.
I would even go as far as saying that if your league only had enough cash to basically pay for a broadcaster or a race controller, you would feel better as a league admin to pay for the controller versus being broadcasted each week.
Definitely.
Because then you'll get
100%. Because then, and that gets into a whole bunch of other stuff. You got guys, and even like it even goes further than that. If you got guys who are paying to race here, like if you got guys paying $5 a week to race, you better pay for a race administrator.
Yeah, but it cleans up the racing and basically makes your league more accessible to others, and they want to race in there knowing that they have somebody's watching from the sky cam. Basically, as you see the 3 wanting to slide up there in front of that 23, thinks about it there. Now he's gonna take over the second spot over the car of Gary Eschen at 23. So these 4 cars nose to tail basically, as the 3 looks to take the dive underneath the 38 machine. I don't know if he's going to be able to make this work this time by, as 38 has the better off.
He might get it done, but again, this track's like a cheese grater. Every time he goes down to the bottom, he takes off 10 laps worth of tire. Then it's good. That 38 just holding him on the bottom, letting him burn his stuff up right in the top. Now the 23 got around the 11 on the top. I'm not sure why the 11 went to the bottom to try to follow the 3, but it cost him a spot. Now the 3 might clear him here. This is his best chance to clear him going into 3. Just drive it in here real deep and clear him.
They're going to make contact.
And here comes the 23 on the bottom.
There was contact between the 3 and the 38. The 38 gave it to the 3. Not sure if I would have been so nice.
Still early. There's still 100 more laps to go.
Yeah.
You can see the 3's fighting back here on the top.
And 3's fighting now the 23 machine and 11. 38's kind of backed off a little bit. I'm not sure if Justin just was like, hey, I'm not willing to fight right yet. He's about 5 car lengths behind the 11.
I think he's being smart here. He's gonna let these guys burn their stuff up.
Like I'll just watch.
Yeah, you guys go right ahead. You'll come back to me in 10 laps, 20 laps.
So it's a pretty big field. 22 cars. 1 car is off. That was our internet connection issue, but 21 cars still racing here at Iowa. It's not a very large track. It's less than a mile, but it's pretty wide, and guy in that famous number 2 designed the racetrack, Rusty Wallace. So, wouldn't it be great being a race car driver? Like, I'm going to make a track that's got all the stuff that I do best in.
He basically used Richmond as a blueprint and then added some banking, which he was so good at Richmond.
He loved Richmond, and He definitely did a lot for this racetrack, getting it together. I remember when the track was being built, we were racing on a NASCAR Racing 2003, and we were taking a GPS blueprint of it and trying to make it into the system back then. Because we knew it was going to be such a great place to race before we even knew what the surface was going to look like. So, a lot of fun here at Iowa, and they've completed 27 laps, so about 20% done here tonight. So right now we're looking at we got Kathy Joe and Dawn Bruni. They're watching. Dawn Bruni's rooting for Ryan Johnson.
Let's go check in on him.
We'll go check on Ryan Johnson. I'm trying to go find him here. As I said that, like, where is he? Oh, Ryan Johnson, he's winning. Oh, hey,
you go. He's driving away.
He's driving away.
A half-second lead on this.
Let's go ride a few laps with him. That's why I was having a hard time finding him. These are Kelly's Custom Engraving onboard camera of Ryan Johnson in that number 3. He's a North driver. That's why you see it there in blue. And those lights are starting to come on, and you just gotta love the cloud effect in the game tonight with that sunset.
As Larry Mack would put it, the nighttime is the right time.
Nighttime is the right time. That's right. Ryan Johnson out to a 4/10 lead over the 23 machine. As you see the 23 and that 11 and the 38 still in camera shot there as the front 4 continued to work the field. Top 5 presented by the 5-Star Realty Group, the Kelly's Custom Engraving in the North-South Racing League. The Ryan Johnson in the 3 and the 23, and both from the North, with Randy Nichols, the top South driver, in that 11. And the 38 machine in 4th, and the 61 of David Rich in 5th. There's your top 5 presented by Kelly's Custom Engraving and the North-South Racing League for the 5-Star Realty Group 125.
Battle's heating up for second. The 11's caught the 23.
See that 11 car. See how close the nose is getting to that Jordan.
You can almost see his setup under there.
Like he's looking at that inside, but does he have enough to get there? Whoa, you can see Randy definitely got the groove going there.
Gonna slide drive here coming out of turn 4.
Oh, definitely. He definitely had something for him there, and it's a nice dive from that 11 machine. As you see the 23 going back, being swept in by that 38 machine is the leader. Ryan Johnson out in the lead by a second now. And DJ Weltmeyer, that was the other driver that Kathy Joe was passing along push for. And he's being scored in the 11th spot in that 16 machine.
And look at that group of cars right in front of him, too. There's 4 or 5 cars right there all together.
Jonathan Cross in the middle of all this. As you see, there's like 7 cars all battling here. 187, the 10, the 17, the 8, the 46. Lots of action going on all over the racetrack, which is probably why you like this place.
I like this place just for this reason. The 2 grooves, plenty of places to race. Now, Harold, explain to the people who don't necessarily understand iRacing. These cars aren't like slot cars.
Oh, no. Not at all. These are ARCA cars. These are the old Nationwide Series cars, and definitely a handful. And iRacing loves to try new stuff on the ARCA Menard car. Matter of fact, the damage model came to these cars first. We see the 8 heavily into the wall.
Yeah, he was trying to make a run there on the outside, and he just brushed it, finish line, it sucked him in.
But that
But look at the
wall
run he's
glue,
got. He gets a huge run down the straightaway to catch back up.
that wall glue come out, reach out, and grab you. The Arkham and Art car though is definitely a handful. It's a driver's car. I love this car. I always have, and it's the first oval class that you can get into once you start racing with the service. They don't run cautions in the official leagues. Basically, when somebody spins out, they're got to get around them and keep driving.
Yeah, this is the only. This is the first oval full body stock car you can pick. Yep, two cars you got are a limited late model, which generally run on half miles. It's kind of like what you see. Your super late models, your limited late models, that's your weekly race car, and then you got your tour mod, your SK modified that runs D class also.
Now, those guys are running cautions though, right?
No,
no
none of the D
cautions
class cars are on yellows. The only cars that get yellows are C class on it.
See,
Your
been
trucks, your
so
super late models,
long.
your trucks, your super late models, your silver crown cars, they're the ones that get yellows.
All right, so 41 of 125, a third of the way done almost here.
Big slide by the 2030.
And that front of that 38 machine. So 1 through 4 are about 3 seconds, and then there's 3 seconds between 4th and 5th, and another 4 seconds between 5th and 6th. So you can start to see the tire attrition starting to really work. These guys are having to work the cars and stay away from that wall.
Definitely. Now it's a game of when do you pit. We got one on pit road. He's going to split it into 2 pit stops. Then you got guys who are going to try to split it into 1 pit stop and go really long. I would say pit window is open right now. And these things are going to be all over the place now.
Mike Dula in the 17 machines, the first one onto the pit lane.
Now he's going to feel like Superman for the next 5 laps.
Superman.
Oh, but he's holding down low. He might have got a speeding penalty. Yep, he's coming back in.
Coming around there, so that's not good for that number 17 machine. Go back up to the second, third and fourth here.
38 is cleared to 2030.
And the caution flag has come out. Try to see if we can find where that happened, and I think I already have. Let's try to get... Alright, so I think it was Matt Noyce was involved in that. Let's see what happened.
Car looks like it's already damaged. It's already ill handling, and then he's a little slower. Oh, but one love tap. Another love tap coming. Oh, yep, another love tap. Oh man, look at this log jam.
Oh wow!
Lost it.
Yes, he definitely lost it and took out 3 cars. So the race control has assessed that yellow to the 187, and he's EOL, and it looks like he's got some heavy
Somebody
damage.
went for a ride.
That smoke is pretty bad there. So looks like Philip Martin in the 46 was, and he's our league admin, and he caught the brunt of that.
We had one car upside down there in the unstretched grass.
That was the 46. So, matter of fact, let's try to see if we can
let's see
replay
that
that with
again.
the 46.
Green, yellow flag pit stops are happening right now, so if we can get another angle of the 46 flipping maybe.
On board with our Kelly Customs engraving on-board camera of Philip Martin's car. You see him on the inside of the 187. Like you said, you can see that right rear jack way up on the 187, making it really hard for him.
You can also kind of see how much further the 187 was driving it into the corner, and then he tried to park it on the bottom, and it wasn't going to work out.
The 187 down there low, and he just gets wicked loose, and wow. And you just see, whoo, I'm sure glad I'm not in VR.
That was fairly gentle for him.
It was fairly gentle, you say, huh?
I've seen him worse.
All right, let's get back to live action.
How would you say it? Best case scenario, it just kind of rolled over one time and slid on its roof.
All right, that is our race leader, Ryan Johnson, and it's going to allow that 17 to get his lap back. Slaps back by being in front of the race leader.
Do we have any fast repairs? Right?
There are no fast repairs, no backups, resets of tires. That's it.
No mulligans tonight.
No mulligan. That's right. April Orth at NSRL says, "Go Tiny Horse." Not sure who that would be, but go Tiny Horse. We'll push Tiny Horse to the front. Might need a little bit more to help with that. I don't have their nicknames down just yet.
Harold, did you know a pony's not actually a horse?
What? Say you what?
Did you know a pony is not actually a horse?
It's not?
Google that later.
I'll have to Google that later. See, you throw things at me, you younger guys. Google generation, that's what it is. Full of information. Sometimes useless. You go on Jeopardy with that kind of stuff.
I'm full of useless knowledge.
Working lap 49 of 125. So about 40% done as we hit the green flag here. Number 3 is your race leader. The 17 is a lap down. He'll be waved around the pace car once the lights go off. Tiny Horse is Ryan Johnson. Oh, okay. So, Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. So we're going to push the 3 to the front with another person. So, we got 2 people looking for the number 3 to get to victory.
Maybe that's why he's got such a huge lead. But yelling him.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he's picking the outside here, so that's interesting.
Yep. So Ryan Johnson elects the outside with Randy Nichols, the 11, on his inside. So yeah, 38 machine is back to 4th, and that was our pace sitter. Huh, interesting. They actually flip-flopped the 3rd position as well. 23 less. iRacing scoring is not always perfect on this. So.
But that could be based on when they came across the start-finish line.
All right, there's a 3. He brings us to the green flag.
Huge jump.
Very big jump in the number 3 throwback machine of Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. So off the 3 goes, man. Off he goes to the races. He's already 5/10 ahead in the lead. Like I said, they just came off the pits. Tires are brand new.
Got a new player. That 8 car's coming to the front.
The 8
Jeff
car
Mathis.
ball, Jeff Mathis. And that
We're talking about him in the
Tabasco.
wall.
And maybe he made the car smaller.
More aerodynamic.
More aerodynamic. Is the 61 of David Rich is right there in front of that monster 61. Let's kind of see the 61 sliding through turn 4.
But these cars these seem like they're a little darty on fresh tires.
I think, like I said, that was the new tire model. And I remember them saying that the cold tires, it took a lot longer for these ARCA cars to warm them up to really get them sticky. So yeah, I remember having to really throttle control in those first couple laps.
61 sideways.
38 was as well. So wow, these guys are definitely putting to it. Fastest lap, 23. So let's check in on him. He's back in 7th, but he's the fastest lap.
He started 4th car. He started 2nd car on the outside lane, and he's back to 7th. So I'm not sure what happened when race start, but he's gonna come back to the front here in a hurry.
Got that 16 machine of DJ Weltmeyer in front of him. Seeing Oh, contact. 61 and the 8 both make contact with the wall, but the 61 was slow it up enough that the 8 was able to drive right around him, and you see the right fronts being jacked way up on the cars of the 8 and the 61, and I think I saw a car just drop out in front of the 8 there. 38 is back there, so let's see what they got going on here. The 8, the 61, that 23 car. All
They
really
also run that 3 car down.
You see the 38 and that 11. There's your big battle right now. The 38 and the 11 for the second spot. Right now the 38 is edged ahead of the 11. They are side by side. The race, you hear the spotter telling him door, now he's clear. 38 looking now for that 3 car of Ryan Johnson. So Justin, our fastest car in qualifying, as you see him have his hands full coming off of 4. So far, we've seen people are looking for Ryan Johnson and DJ. So if you got a favorite driver out there, let us know. Comment about where you're from and who you're rooting for. We're watching the race and watching you in chat.
Looking at the top 5, we got 3 souths and 2 norths. So
check that out right here. There's your 2 norths, 1 and 2 being the south drivers coming up. Randy Nichols leading the way. Mathis and David Rich.
Looks like Matt Noyce has loaded his car up to head home.
We've had 3 cars have packed it up, leaving us with 19 cars currently on the grid. Your race summary by J&G Hardwood Flooring Installations, Finishing, Refinishing, and Re-estimates. You can contact there, 615-904-2218 is your leader, Ryan Johnson at 3. 1 caution for 5 laps. 22 racers took the green flag. Fastest lap of the 24.126 of Ryan Johnson now.
And the 11 had a nose inside the 38 there for a few laps. I thought he was going to try to send one down in there on the bottom of him, but he kind of backed out and went back to the top lane.
Trying to see the 23 looking to go inside as the rest of the field is going to about mid to high line, as you had already talked about, as we're working lap 62 of 125. So just about cross flags will be 2 laps from now. And Greg Nichols is watching Randy Nichols in that 11 machine. Glad to see you, Greg, on One to Go Studios Facebook page. We'll push that 11 to the front as he's trying to get there. And currently that 11 is in the 3rd spot, leading the way for the South drivers tonight. And Don Rooney's watching Ryan Johnson from Jonesburg, Illinois. Say, way to go, Ryan, who is leading this event.
Tiny Horse with a lot of fans out there.
He's got a couple, definitely.
He's got it stretched out to a 1-second lead, too.
He's definitely having his way with the field tonight. So 65 of 125, we're past the halfway mark of the race. Current stints, 18 laps right now, 18 laps on these tires they have, and this is a full fuel car. They're not restricting the fuel at all. I did not check to see how far we can go on gas, but you were thinking that they would all be pretty good right now.
I would say the window is open to pit now and go to the end. Probably about 60 laps is good. It's just tires. Always going to be just tires.
So when do you decide that you're losing too much to fresh tires? That's going to be the call tonight, right?
You definitely, it looks like you want to be the first one to pit road because these guys aren't crashing a whole lot. So if you try to stay out and run it to the end, I don't think you're not going to want to bank on a yellow. You want to play that pit strategy, get fresh tires first and be the fastest car by a half a second.
Yeah, so, I mean, so far, under half of the event has been run. Only one caution, and that was caused by a car that got wicked loose coming out of 3 and 4. Other than that, lots of good racing all around the racetrack. So let's go run back through the field as we're starting to spread this sucker out. So Ryan Johnson is currently being shown as your race leader in that number 3 machine. Justin Grosser in the 38, who's under attack by the 11. So now the 38 is being scored in 3rd, and the 11 is in 2nd. As they keep battling back and forth, the Hart Crate and the Love Spedco machine. So the 11 and 38, door by door by door, through the backstretch. So Speedco.
Yeah, there's 2 E's in that.
Speedco. Spedco, Speedco, tomato. Jeff Mathis is in 4th in the Tabasco. I know about that one. I like that stuff on my chicken. So, and David Rich in the 61 Monster Machine is in 5th. 6th is Garrett Eschen in the 23. As you can see, the car just really getting upset in that 23 machine.
20 laps on these tires. Our last yellow happened right about 45 laps in the run, so we're only about halfway through these tires right now.
16 of DJ Weltmeyer is in the 7th spot. Travis Hoppler in the 20 machine in 8th. Pennzoil. Dan Jan in the 13 machine. Chad Applegate in the 4. 04. Thomas Stewart in that 64 machine. And it was like Justin White just getting out of 88 in the 11th spot. Marshall Johnson, the 33, is in 13th. 14th is Shane Loveridge in the 72. 44, Matt Allen, who started this race in the rear there, is back to 15th. Jason Dinsmore in the 62 is in 16th. 84 is in 17, and that's Chris Yergris. Jonathan Cross, man, that machine is and all over the place. 2 laps down, 10 Jonathan Cross. He's just trying to get that thing home.
He was one of those cars in that first yellow.
Yeah, Mike Dula in at 17. North machine is the last car on the grid, 3 laps down. So we've gone through the field. Back to the front we go to Ryan Johnson leading the race here as we are working lap 74. So 2 laps till we get to 50. So 52 laps remaining.
I really think they're going to start to see these guys think about green flag pit stops here, about 80, 85 laps.
85, you said at 80, about 10 laps from now, they'll start coming through, you believe?
Yeah, I would think so, because that would give them about a 40-lap run. And I mean, we can see they're already 7/10 of a second off the pace. Or more.
Giving a shot from the blimp above of the 6th spot. So there's the 4, 5, 6, 7 as they work down the front stretch into turn 1 and 2. And it just amazes me how much that right rear is moving under the, this is a high bank track, but the right rear has definitely got a lot of weight in it because it's actually sliding through the turns.
Yeah, they're just pushing real hard mid-corner, trying to get all they can out of the center of the corner. Battle for second.
11:38. Like I said, you can just see the rear end of that car just want to come around, and they're really having to control that thing.
When you're in a side-by-side battle like this, you got to be really disciplined to leave that guy on the bottom with enough room, and to anticipate him to drive it in deep to try to clear you, and then just cross him over.
We're on board with Randy Nichols and the Kelly Custom Engraving onboard camera, and you can hear him feathering through the throttle coming into 3 and 4. If I remember right with the ARCAs here, not really a lot of brake, but really using that throttle to your advantage to turn the car.
Looks like he's cleared the 38 as he went up there to the wall.
And I think it was kind of the way the car was getting not happy with that right rears. Like on these cars, it's starting to look like it's wanting to step out. As you see a 38 right there slid again through 3 and 4.
Right. Also looking at the intervals on the left side of the screen here, as soon as the 11 passed the 38, he picked up 2/10 up to the leader. We'll see if he's got enough to running back down here before pit stops.
Well, that was definitely, that being side by side with another car, he wasn't able to get the off that he was looking for. But now that he just has open track, he can definitely put that throttle where he wants it, manage it all the way to using the high side to his advantage off the corner. And like I said, the 38 looked like it was just getting awful loose coming off, so he just wasn't able to put the throttle down early enough, and it allowed that 11 to pass by.
So going back to the whole tire situation, Harold, when you were saying when do you pit? If I'm Ryan Johnson right now, and I'm watching the lead disappear, 2/10, 3/10 a lap, I'm pitting now. My lead's going away in a hurry.
44 laps remaining, and they're on 35 lap tires. So, think about, to me, I'm looking at to split the difference is what I'd be looking at right now. As long as that lead stays above a second, I'll split the difference. Because to me, I want to stay out on the tires as long as I can to have the freshest set of tires at the end, so I can choose what I want to do. But if you come in too early and you burn them off too quick, and somebody catches you later in the race, and that's no fun. There's a 3 coming in. He's coming up on lap traffic. He set a heck of a pick with these 3 cars here.
So now you're back to playing. Now you gained on the 11 these last 3 laps. So he's either turned it on, or the 11 backed off and started to get loose. He's gaining on the 11 again.
A 2.8 second lead. This is at a less than a mile track. That's a huge lead. As he's looking to get around the 84s, they're going 3 wide to the stripe with lap traffic. He's having to go all the way down to that yellow line.
Something like this doesn't seem necessary. You kind of just got to wait. You got this big a lead. But he's going to get it done, Let's see a big slide job on this car.
Pen's giving him plenty of room to work around, but definitely not sure if we need to go 3 wide, but he's protecting his lead as he's now got another car in front of that 17 of Matt Dula. So the 86 laps will be completed as we come. So we're under 40 now. Thinking any time now, because this is splitting the difference right here.
And the other option is, if you got enough gas, you can go to the end on the tires. So be careful then.
But how much time will you lose the fresh tires? That's the question at that
point. Right, and that's where you don't want to. You might not want to be the first guy to pit, but you also don't want to be the last guy to pit.
And then shout out to Mansfield, Texas, for Greg Nichols, who's watching that number 11 machine, who's right there in second spot, 2.5 seconds back from the race leader of Ryan Johnson. So Randy Nichols basically bringing the South up to the front, and Ryan Johnson leading the pack for the North now.
Nichols is back there in that 3 wide battle.
Trying to get around those lap cars that were difficult for race leader Ryan Johnson. And look at the 84 challenge in the 11 to the high side. Being challenged by a lap car is probably not helping, not happy, thinking the 11th is not doing.
It can be frustrating as a lead car. You would think that the lap car would move over for him once he got lapped, but he's still racing for position. Can't always just let him go. Gave him the lane.
35 laps as we get to the stripe here with Ryan Johnson. He's coming around turn number 4. Here's your top 5 running order. We're working lap 91. So we're looking at 35 laps remaining. Johnson, Nichols, Grosser, Eschen, and David Rich. That's your order right now. That's 23 and a 38. About the closest battle we're seeing right now on the track for position. That's for the third spot between the two North drivers. Doing our biggest movers, Jeff Mathis in the 8 machine up 9, Travis Hoppler up 9, and Shane Leverage up 9. So, wow, everybody's up 9. They do have a hard charger award given to by ETE. So we will talk about that at the end of the race. Got a drone camera here, the 23 and the 38 on the back stretch. We're at lap 94 of 125, so 31 to go. Track Time Entertainment, they provide the hard charger award, so whoever has the most positions gained at the end will receive that award from TTE. Sponsors the hard charger. The 23 is just biding his time as the 38 is now caught up to that 84 machine. Christopher Yergis. Wow, the 23 to 38 got real close to each other on that lap.
Yeah, I think the 23 wanted to use the 84 as a pick, but he got loose coming off of turn 4. Gathered back up and he's going to settle in, try to go run him back down again.
He's under the 23, is under the 84. Whiskey River 84, that Jordan machine of the 23 there. Race leader Ryan Johnson now off to a 3.2 second lead. And like you said, man, if I'm stepping out, I'm not coming down yet. Crew chief had me screaming in my ear right now, and I might take my headset off.
I agree. It looks like he's going to try to go for that long haul and go to the end here. We haven't seen anybody come to pit road yet.
I think these guys are waiting and to see if a caution comes out before they come down, because green flag pit stops could lose you up to 2 laps here. See that 3 coming up on that 64 of Thomas Stewart, who's our 13th place car currently. As they're finishing up lap number 99, you see that 3 still getting a little bit happy coming out of 3 and 4. A lot of 864 heavy into turn 1's wall. One thing about iRacing though, man, is these walls are made of glue. Once you get in them, there's no coming off of them. There aren't things, and the rail racing that I remember, you don't get stuck to the wall. You usually like a pinball machine. You hit it and you come right off the wall. You don't normally ride it unless you're still in the gas. And then, even then, it wants to bounce you off of it.
I'm glad you can speak from experience. I'm mostly glad I haven't experienced that.
I can tell you that the wall does not like you. Usually send you right back into play. So, but like the only places not experienced. I don't have any experience at Darlington, but at Darlington seems like one of the only places I know that kind of reaches out and holds on to you. That's because I think about the amount of speed they got in turn 3 and 4. When they get to the wall for the Darlington stripe, they're carrying so much speed they can't get off the wall. But like in a place like this, I would see that it would almost spit you back onto the racetrack.
Very true.
Say what?
Very true. I've kind of believed that that's all the banking up there. You kind of just get locked up in that. 84 is hanging at the 3 here, even though he's a lap down.
Really looking. That's the 04, I believe. Yeah. Chad Applegate. That's the 04 Chad Applegate, who's 2 laps down to the race leader right now.
Is he on fresh tires?
Yes, he is. 7 laps in.
So here's a perfect example of 7. Yeah, well, not 7 laps, but fresh tires versus the old tires. You just kind of drove up there and drove by him.
When we go back to the strike with Ryan Johnson, they're going to get 20 to go.
And you kind of probably right there, Harold. It's a major bet. You got to lay in it now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can see to change this is coming down. If maybe, oh, somebody's smoking up pretty good.
He's around on the front straightaway.
Somebody was. Was that Dan Janin? Anything coming up to me real at this point, but I saw smoke. He's definitely got some damage on that car, that 04 machine.
Well, he just got loose again.
All right. So under 20 to go here for the 5-Star Realty Group 125. We're working lap 107. So under 20 to go. Johnson, Nichols, Eschen, Grosser, and DJ Weltmeyer. Nichols, the only South driver in the top 5. You see the race leader going around that number 33 machine, currently on the race screen. If you're the race leader of Ryan Johnson, at this point, you got to finish on what you got. You're not coming down unless the fuel tank runs dry.
Got a couple cars on pit road there at the back of the field. Matt Dula and possibly Matt Allen.
And both of those guys are laps back. So 10 on back, as I'm curious to see, because these guys are all on 60 from 1st to 12th are all on 60-plus lap tires. I'm curious to see if any one of these guys would choose to drop down and see if they could get new rubber and help their case at all. And maybe a late race caution, and they would be in a good spot to stay out on the racetrack. You're in the back, you got to make a gamble.
We know everybody has 2 sets left, so yeah, I mean, kind of. If you're about to go lap down, maybe go in and throw a set on.
So Ryan Johnson continuing to be the pacer of the field, followed by Randy Nichols. Gary Eschen in that 3rd position. Justin Grosser in the 38 machine in the 4th. 16 is DJ Weltmeyer. He's in 5th. And David Rich in 6th spot in the Monster 61. Jeff Mathis in that number 8 Tabasco car, doing pretty good with all that heavy damage. That number's 8 is in the 7th spot. The 88 is Justin White in the Skull Bandit car is in 8th. Shane Loveridge in the 72 machine in the 9th. Travis Hoffler at a 20. They said our Hungry Pennzoil machine in 10th. And those are the top 10 cars currently all running on the lead lap. Everyone else is a lap back or more. And we just saw Ryan Johnson go right by the number 20 car of Travis Hoffler to put him a lap down. Only 9 cars now on the lead lap. 13 of 125.
And we're running out of clean race cars. There's not many left out there. Just looking through that, have the whole right side now.
Ryan Johnson there, your race leader, as he's almost 4 seconds in the lead over Randy Nichols, and Randy Nichols has a 4.5 second lead over the 23 car. So a little over 8 seconds between the leader and the third place car.
That's almost a half a lap.
It's a third of the lap, 24 seconds a lap. So
Right.
that's
There you go.
third of
Third
the
of a lap.
third of the lap. So yeah, it's still a lot. So completing 115. So 10 to go as Ryan Johnson crosses over the stripe. So he receives the 10 to go sign. So Ryan Johnson working the field tonight with all those fans watching him currently on the North-South Racing League Facebook site. You're watching us on One to Go Studios, either Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. Give us a shout out. I'd like to hear from you. Know who you're cheering for, where you're from. Yeah, 17 to Matt Doolin on those fresh tires, working at 3 on the outside. As we're working at 117 of 125. 3 is down low. He's going to let that 17 march on by the outside. .118 of 125. There's race leader Ryan Johnson. Randy Nichols in the Hart Crate 11 looking to get around that number 20 machine. Is the first car a lap down. Gary Eschen in the 23 Jordan machine right there. Back to the race leader. Goodwrench 3. He's now 4.3 seconds in the lead. Big gaps all the way around the racetrack as we're working lap 119 as we cross there. So around 120 of 125, working 120 of 125.
Yep, flagman's got that soft, wrapped up flag with 5 fingers showing.
About ready to show 5 here as he comes to the line. Flagman gives him the 5 to go sign. Ryan Johnson, the race leader, 5 laps to go.
Crew chief's just telling him hit his mark, run the bottom. Got a huge lead.
And they're saying don't do anything that you don't need to do. Bring her home in one piece. Randy Nichols in the second spot, 4.5 seconds behind the race leader, 4 seconds back to the 23 machine of Gary Eschen, who's working lap traffic, getting around at 62 of Jason Dinsmore, who's currently being shown in the 14th position. That 23's got some heavy damage in that left rear, but he's making it work. 3rd position, as he's got a second lead over the 4th spot of Justin Grosser, which was our pole sitter tonight in the Love Speedco 38 machine. Ryan Johnson's been given a 3 to go, son. 3 to go. So as it comes by this time by, he'll be given the 2-stick salute by the flagman. 6 in the air, 2 to go for the number 3. As Ryan Johnson looking in the back of a bunch of lap cars in front of him. He's 2 to go, so once he gets to the flag here, he will get the 1 to go sign. Our drone coverage of the 3. All right, the white flag is out, and it's 1 to go, presented by the 1 to go Studios. Final lap to Ryan Johnson as he's working 3 lap cars with a 5-second lead over Randy Nichols. And as a racer, man, you want to race these cars, but you almost got to say, like, just let them go, man. You got a 5-second lead. You got this thing. And the checkered flag flies. So Ryan Johnson, race to the win. The North wins today. North prevails. Ryan Johnson, race leader. Right. we'll get to the rest of these guys here and try to get some people into the green room. We're moving people around here. Randy Johnson is going to give us a burn down the house. Randy Nichols, right in. And our third place was Gary Eschen in that 23 machine. Gary in here, Gary 20. I think we've got everybody as we see the racers. I'm going to just kind of we'll let the three have his party first. You see the three lighting it up. He's gonna do a. What's he gonna do?
Reverse Polish.
A reverse Polish. That wouldn't be a reverse Polish because he's going the other way. He's just doing a reverse.
Okay.
Because the Polish is the other direction.
It's facing this direction, but going the other way. Yeah.
He's basically reversing the whole field there. So let's get to. Thanks, Greg, for giving us a compliment about the overlay and. Very nice, easy to read. I appreciate that. April says, great racing, everyone. Way to go. The number 3, you rock. As he's showing everybody he can drive it backwards even.
I have to say, this takes a little bit of talent to make a lap backwards. This definitely
takes a lap backwards, yeah. It's tough enough doing a Polish one. People don't realize how hard it is to race the track backwards because the car wants to turn left. Not right. So, I'm going to burn down the house here. So, we'll show the results here. Johnson, Nichols, Eschen, Grosser, Wiltmeyer, Rich, White, Mathis, Loveridge, and Johnson. The top 10 of the 5-Star Realty Group 125. And Hoffler, Stewart, Applegate, Dinsmore, Allen, Yurgis, Dula Cross, Dan Janin, and Matt Noyce, 20th. And Philip Martin and Joe Witkowski, 21st and 22nd. And that is your race results, unofficial, as of this time. So let's try to get a nice picture of that 23 and try to get him in booth with us. With that 23 car. Pull him in.
Should not be allowed in the league.
Hey, Gary, you're in the booth with us. Hey,
whoops.
When you're in the green room, you're next. So the 23 machine, Gary Eschen, is that right? Or am I got it wrong?
Oh, you're right.
All right, Gary Eschen in the Jordan. Is that the Jordan Hamlin or just Jordan?
Just Jordan.
Just Jordan. Okay. Just Jordan, the 23 machine. Third place tonight. I mean, you guys got spread out quite a bit, but one heck of a race here in Iowa. You guys started at sundown and finished underneath the dark night sky.
Yeah, after we went back green, after that, I think it was the only caution of the race. Like 2 laps into it, I got into the wall and fell all the way back to 8th and had to race my way back up to 3rd. By that time, Randy and Ryan were already gone.
It was definitely a lot of spaced out, a lot of traffic, and seen the wall come up a few people a few times tonight. So kept the car pretty much clean, and you guys were working through the field pretty well. I mean, you were up front most of the race. And like I said, just based on how things went, you just weren't able to get there to capitalize. But there's plenty of racing coming up. We're going to North Wilkesboro, I believe, for race number 1 of the next season for you guys next week.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good season. I can already tell from tonight. 125 laps here. The track was pretty loose off, and to only have 1 caution is pretty impressive.
We were watching the cars. You guys, that right rear was wanting to snap around on you guys. So was it throttle control, or was it heavy braking, or what was causing the car to want to step out?
It's definitely all throttle control. You really had to roll into it. You couldn't just hammer it down. If you hammered it down, you were spinning around.
The horsepower of the rears on these cars, which has always been the case, it seemed, And the we were talking about the tire model earlier. That the first couple of laps seemed like you guys are really having to tiptoe around the corners.
Oh yeah, for about the first 4 or 5 laps, yeah, she was a little loose.
All right, Gary, we got you in the booth now. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
For broadcasting and obviously all the admins that put this on every week for us. And I think this is going to be what the second or third season with the ARCA cars. And first couple didn't disappoint. I don't think this one will either.
All right, so Gary representing the North in the 23 machine brings it home in third with that Jordan livery. We'll see you next week, Gary.
Yep, you have a great night.
All right. All right. Gonna put Gary back in the green room. Andy, I mean, like you said, throttle control. The cars were awful loose, man. We could see it from our camera view. We could just see this cars wanting to turn around on them.
Definitely. I mean, I guess it's the way the banking flattens out, makes it a little loose coming out.
And these guys were running fixed setups tonight too, and that does make a heck of a difference to whatever iRacing provides. So we're gonna pull up the number 11 machine up here in the broadcast booth. Randy Nichols, you're with Harold Arner and Andy Dunwoody in the One to Go Studios booth. Second place finish in that Heart Crate 11 machine. How you been?
I'm doing good. It's good to join you guys up here tonight.
And you guys were definitely the three of you guys were slipping and sliding and watching the right rear wanting to step out on you guys. I mean, how much was throttle control were you guys having to really work on? You know, especially with some traffic. I saw you guys working. I think you had 3 wide to pass some lap traffic even.
Oh, it was total throttle control on the corners. The other thing was just trying to manage that right front tire. It's so easy to burn it up here, so it's trying to keep the wheel nice and smooth and not burn off the right rear coming off of 2 and 4. But it's still easy to really to lose your tires really quick here, especially when you get around traffic like that. But yeah, the 3 wide, I was really just trying to be smooth and work my way through that. But at the end of the race, I still had had nothing for Ryan.
It was definitely he was the cream of the crop tonight here, and this is definitely an interesting track. We're talking about Rusty Wallace helped design this place, and high bank, short track. I mean, it was all the things that he would love as a racer. So, I mean, it's always I've always liked this track, and Arca's loves this. Arca used to have their championship here, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't know about where ARCA finished their season with, but I mean, this track always produced really, really good racing. No matter if it was Indy cars, trucks, Xfinity, would have loved to see the Cup cars race here, but it's definitely a tricky track. I mean, you can be really quick at the bottom in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or you can just kind of ride around in that middle lane and carry the speed, which I had some serious trouble trying to get around Justin Grosser for a little while. I mean, that was a really tough battle, and I was trying to not eat up the tires, but I knew I needed to get around them. But again, it just kind of goes back to the style of this track. You're going to carry more speed in that middle and upper lanes, but I mean, it was a hell of a battle.
Definitely was. All right, Randy, before we let you go, man, who do you want to thank for your performance being second place here at the last recruitment event for the ARCA cars going into the new season?
I just want to thank my wife for kind of holding down the household while I come in here and race, and I want to thank Heartcrate for being on board with me for the car, the sponsorship for the car this season. Looking to kind of get them some more attention and hopefully get some more donations to some kids and get them all kinds of goodies.
And Greg Nichols is saying, hey, from Mansfield, Texas. Gives you a nice P2 here from the fam.
Oh yeah, that's my pops. He watches every race, so I'm glad to get some support from the home front too.
All right. There's Randy Nichols. We'll see you next week, Randy. We'll let you get back to the trailer, talk to your team about tonight. Put Randy back. We're going to go chalk to the race winner of Ryan Johnson in that number 3 machine. Matter of fact, Andy, you were the one who called out his livery, so how about you talk to our guy here? Ryan Johnson, you're in the booth with Harold and Andy in the One to Go Studios booth.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Ryan, it was great. You put a spanking to him tonight, and really were able to manage those tires for the really long run there at the end. How'd you do it?
Came here last season and we were pretty fast and it was just gonna be taking my time and we didn't qualify well and slowly work our way to the front and took a while to pass all the guys. We got some fast guys in here and just trying to be easy on the throttle, easy on the brakes, and just try to save the tires and seem to work on the long runs.
Yeah, I know. Watching y'all race, it was kind of interesting how you ran the bottom most of the race. So whenever I run here, I end up running the top. Just seems to save tires. Kind of shocked you were able to save that much tire down at the bottom.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even sure how well it works. Last time we were here, everyone was running the top side, and I stuck to the bottom, and somehow I don't know if it's my driving or what it is, but we were able to save tires better than most everybody else, and really works for the long runs. I don't know.
It, it looked like you had a little bit of trouble with some lap cars, but other than that, it looked like you had a really clean race. Maybe made a little bit of contact there at the beginning with the 38, but other than that, it looked like a clean race.
Yeah, we were just trying to get around him. I don't know if he came down or I came up, but yeah, we get tangled up a little bit and we're able to keep it straight at least. So that's always nice. I like the long green flag runs and got a lot of clean races in here. So
Yeah, overall, it was a great race as a whole. Is there anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
yeah, all the admins at NSRL that put this on, you guys for broadcasting, Taz Motorsports, all our sponsors for the league, my mom, girlfriend, friends and family, and all the drivers that come out and have fun racing with us.
Cool. Well, thank you. Harold, you got anything else for him?
Ryan, you have one heck of a fan club over there at the NSRL Facebook site, or it was April Earth and Kathy Joe and Dawn Rooney, all giving you shout outs while you were out there putting laps down. So you brought your fan group with you, which is kind of nice, and like to have people watching us while we're putting this on. And I'm sure you'll go back and watch some of the comments.
Oh yeah, April's my mom. Thank you, mom. Dawn is my girlfriend's mom, and Kathy, I believe she stuck with us, found us through our previous broadcaster, Drive a DJ, and thank you. I just want to say,
All right. So that was Ryan Johnson, first place, last race of the recruitment mid season, I guess you'd call it. We're going to North Wilkesboro next week. So, how do you see it working out there? I believe I was seeing something that Phil would put out saying that's the inaugural race for the ARCA cars for this group of guys, this league for the North Wilkesboro Raceway.
yeah, I don't believe we've raced there before. I've raced there a couple times in the ARC car, and it's pretty fun. It's definitely difficult trying to keep the car under you and keep it straight. But when we get those long green flag runs, it's a lot of fun racing. There's a lot of good guys, and I try to bring home the best finish that we can.
The One to Go Studios has been in North Wilkesboro in just about every car there is now with you guys with the street stocks and the ARCAs. We've been there with Legends and late models and Xfinity Cup cars. I'm sure I've missed one or two, but we've covered quite a few races at North Wilkesboro here in the last month. So we'll be glad to see you and the rest of the NSRL guys. So that's Ryan Johnson bringing home the win here at Iowa, representing the North. So, Ryan, good job tonight. We'll see you guys next week at North Wilkesboro.
Absolutely, thank you guys.
Andy, man, this league goes to that super short track back in time in 1987, and it won't be at night because there were no lights there. So it'll be a day race and hot in the street stocks on Monday night. It's going to be one heck of an event for the street stocks. And then when these cars come back up on next Thursday, it'll be interesting with the horsepower that these Impalas have.
Definitely. I think the street stocks will put on a great show. A little bit of bumper and banging probably at that short track, and then these things with, like you said, with all that horsepower. Another one of those tracks where I like the high groove, but the bottom groove works too.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw, I believe it was Friday night with one of my other leagues, the two different turns. You have turn 1 and 2 where it's grass, and turn 3 and 4 with the high curbing. You touch that curb, and it's a one-way ticket to the outside retaining wall. Like, so very upsetting the car. You touch that thing.
Or you'll loop it and cause a parking lot.
It's definitely not a good event to have that happen. So tonight's event was here at Iowa, 125. Let's look at our race summary before we close it out here. Race summary by J&G Hardwood Flooring. Really didn't do much work with them tonight, as we didn't have. They had that caution for 5 laps with 22 racers. Pretty good race for a short track with 22 drivers. Very clean. So this league did a really good job putting on a really good show with only one caution.
I think we have another award, from TTE, the Hard Charger Award.
There it is. Track Time Entertainment Hard Charger Award goes to Shane Loveridge, up 11 spots. So a good job be had by Shane Loveridge in that 72 machine, who started in 20th position. Shane Loveridge, winner of the Hard Charger Award tonight. All right, so that would be results. Let's restart the results and go back through. Johnson, Nichols, Eschen, Grocer, Weltmeyer, Rich, White, Mathis, and Loveridge, with Marshall Johnson first car a lap down for your top 10 Iowa Speedway at Newton, Iowa. Andy, man, they're going to be back North Wilkesboro, so if you guys enjoy tonight, please join back with us for Monday night with the NSRL guys, and we'll be on the air tomorrow for Wendigo Studios with the Light Speed Racing League guys, and we'll be at Las Vegas with the Cup cars. That's the next thing happening for Wendigo Studios. I'm Harold Darner, and we'll see you at the next turn. What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors.